What is consumerism? You don't know? Let's go to our classroom today to see what the kids have to say.
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
I can't hear you!
Aye, aye, Captain!
Okay, class. Can anyone tell me what consumerism is?
I can.
So no one knows?
I said I know it.
Okay, tell us then.
Consumerism is the belief that personal well-being and happiness depends to a very large extent on the level of personal consumption, particularly on the purchase of material goods.
Wow, you were actually right for once. Now that we all know, how about we get into it?
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
I can't hear you!
Aye, aye, Captain!
Okay, let's go on a trip to the Caribbean. What is the main economic activity of Trinidad and Tobago?
Pick me.
Okay, go on.
According to my research, it is bacon, shark and the beach.
You are absolutely wrong. Anyone else? Yes, go on.
The oil industry.
You are correct. Alright class, let's get into it. It will appear that the more we consume, the more dissatisfied we become. And at what cost? Natural resources are dwindling every day as we the consumers increase our levels of consumption. Yes.
What do we consume and why?
More cars, more clothes, more electronics, and household appliances. And for what? To satisfy selfish wants? It is not wrong to desire things, but it's the quantities and levels. The United States, with less than 5% of the global population, uses about a quarter of the world's fossil fuel resources, burning up nearly 25% of the coal, 26% of the oil, and 27% of the world's natural gas.
What causes us to consume?
Well, in an effort to live the good life as portrayed by the media, they go out each day, work long hours in order to buy stuff only to throw this stuff out when something better comes along, and in order to afford it they work even harder to buy the next big thing. It's a never-ending cycle.
How does this affect the environment?
At the base of all this consumerism is the environment. What about it? Well, for starters, all the process involved from the creation of products to their eventual discard has significant effects on the environment. Carbon emissions from factories, exhaust from vehicles, endless streams of plastics being dumped all lead to environmental degradation. Ecological footprint is a measure of the supply and demand on nature. More specifically, it represents the productive area required to provide the renewable resources being used by humans and to absorb its waste. We human beings consume products at an alarming rate. We overuse the natural resources that are around us. The Caribbean, although a small region, is starting to develop an ecological footprint that is starting to affect the ecological systems of the world. Trinidad and Tobago and their use of oil and natural gas are contributing significantly to contributing an ecological footprint. The oil and gas industry is vital to them. However, one of the major impacts on the ecology is pollution. This is associated with every stage of oil and gas pollution: wastewater, gas emissions and aerosols. These are all generated during offshore drilling, production and refining. Other environmental impacts are intensification of greenhouse gas, acid rain and greenhouse gases. We may profit financially from oil and natural gas, but environmentally the impacts are far-reaching.
How can we deal with consumerism?
Caribbean society relies heavily on American and Chinese manufacturing industries. Goods are conveniently shipped for our consumption, but it leaves us with the issue of wastage. An innovative way to reduce the amount of material going to waste is for government's investment in the field of repair services. Educational programs for persons to enter this. There should be a policy established to limit the amount of imported food coming to our markets and supermarkets. Local and regional food manufacturers would improve their food. We can adopt resource-saving and repurposing habits such as taking shorter hot showers as to conserve energy used to heat it. Choose energy-efficient appliances such as low-flow shower heads, faucets, and toilets. We can engage in recycling recyclable waste like paper, glass, aluminium, plastic and even electronics.
Wow, interesting.